Welcome! It is Community Energy Thursday, the first Thursday of every month, and it's where we come together as a community, support each other with accessible energy healing. So as a community, we can all rise together. It's so important. And welcome 2023. That's really exciting stuff. I hope everyone had a beautiful new year. And if you're watching this recording, I hope it's a wonderful year so far, no matter what year it is. And tonight we're going to be working on allowing yourself to rest. And so, right now, as this is recording, we are in the winter season. And so you can watch this whenever you need to. And especially now, and especially if you're in your own winter season, it can be summer outside, but you still need the winter inside. And so this is about really allowing ourselves to rest, allowing ourselves to untangle beliefs, actions, thought patterns that keep us from relaxing and resting. And this is a big topic. This, for some folks, it's really challenging. There can be a lot of trauma around this. So please be gentle with yourself. And let's see, anything else I need to share? Yeah, just be gentle. I always tell folks we're not going from A to Z, we're going from like A to B or A to A and a half, just enough to really shift something that you can see a difference without stressing out your nervous system. So let's get started. So just really feel where you're at right now. You can kind of move your body a little bit, use this time as a time to get intrigued by allowing yourself to rest, right? You're here, you're doing the work. Congratulate yourself, give yourself a gold star and a check mark because you're here, you're showing up for yourself. So we're just really grounding the body before we do any energy work. If you're new to energy work, hello, welcome. My modality is called integrative energy therapy. It's very similar to Reiki, and we will be working with angelic energy today. So first, we're going to wrap ourselves in a big bubble of light, a purple bubble of light, and that which only serves your most loving, joyful, kindest, healthiest, pleasurable, wisest, and greatest good and divine law and order can come through this bubble. And now we thank the earth. We thank the earth for being here, giving us so many resources, for allowing us to live. And we thank those who have stewarded the land for so many generations, including the land we're on right now. And we thank our spirit team, our beloved past ones, our beloved animals, our spirit guides, our angels, our master healers and helpers, and anyone else who is with us, who is supporting us in a loving and, I want to say, powerful fashion. And we ask both the earth and our spirit team to help us heal what we need to heal tonight, shift what we need to shift, and integrate what we need to integrate in a way that is gentle and soft and perfect for you in your body, mind, and spirit. Okay. I'm going to connect to your energy. And so this is a great time to set your own intention. Perhaps you have some thoughts about rest and how it makes you feel. Perhaps other people are worthy of rest, but you not so much. Or perhaps you remember a time in your childhood where you weren't allowed to rest. You had to always be appearing busy or else you'd get yelled at. Or perhaps you don't have any history that you know of and just want to sink deeper into rest. Whatever it is very valid. You can say it out loud to yourself, you can think it, whatever feels good. And a good reminder that this isn't just like, this is a societal issue as well. So we're also going to be working a lot with that. And so we don't even really know the beliefs and patterns that could have imprinted through like the societal lens. So don't be too hard on yourself. Okay, I am in. And if you see me making pained faces, that's just me releasing energy. It's how I feel it. You might burp or yawn, or your stomach might growl, or you feel hot and cold. You might cry. Those will pass quickly if you just kind of let them roll over you. What I'm really seeing is like a tug of war imagery of almost, it feels kind of like a higher self, kind of like we know what we should be doing. The shoulds can be really dangerous and put a lot of pressure on ourselves. But theoretically, we know we should be getting more rest and that's good for our bodies and our spirit as well. However, I see like society being like, nope, you can't do that, and pulling you in this other direction. And I think it's really important to note here too that we are currently living under capitalism, and we have to do what we have to do to survive. And our living wages are not, a fair living wage. It requires some folks multiple jobs to pay their rent. And so it makes a lot of sense why there's this huge tug societally of needing to keep working to so you can keep surviving. Or even, you can't be lazy, you must keep working if you have time to rest. And in the restaurant business, which I grew up in, and also had so many restaurant jobs, there's the saying, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean. And so you know if you ever have a moment of rest, it's like, oh, I got to do the laundry, I got to do the dishes, because there's so much to do. And so that makes a lot of sense. Don't be hard on yourself. Of course, there's this tug of war. And so we're just going to sit with this real quick. It actually looks like a bear trap now. So like one of our In this visualization, I see one of our legs is like stuck in a bear trap, and it's painful and it hurts. And so we're going to, yes, we can release this. Okay, that's gone. Yes. And now the skin is inflamed and hurting. So we're just trying to soothe it. Oh, I'm getting this idea that, there's always going to be this, like, I'm not getting rid of society. Like, unless you decide to like go off grid, somehow win the lottery, we will always need to be in society working. Um, and I also could not live off grid because it's like too far. I need my running water. And so that's still there. We're not removing that, but we're removing these like tight grips, this tight clamps of a feeling like of just keeping us down, of just like being heavy, of keeping us stuck. And so we're going to release that. Well, we did release that. And now we're soothing the flesh. We're like reminding ourselves that, yes, this still exists. Society still exists. We still have to exist and live and work and all that. And also, we don't have to hold on so tightly to it anymore. This fear of rest. I don't know about y'all, but I used to in like some pretty toxic jobs, I would give 120%, 150% to a point where I was just like a mess. And I quit and that job, and they found someone else, and it didn't even matter how hard I worked, right? Like I could have given even 100% would have been less and better, but I could have given 70 and it would have been just as fine. I did not need to go so hard for this company that did not care for me in the end. So that's just kind of like a belief we are unwinding. And another example, my friend recently, she was we had the same job, and she was feeling overwhelmed, and then she had a baby, and now she's like, I'm not willing to give up that much of my life to this job. And so just a reminder that we can choose to work 70%. Sometimes we'll have to work 100, and that's okay. The same with chores. Yes, you like living in a clean uh house is important for like sanitation reasons, and also does your laundry need to be put away? Like, give yourself a break. Really, really look at the things that feel like they have they have to be done, and just be curious about them. Or can we create some ease here, allowing ourselves to rest in between? So we're just pulling a lot of gunk in some trash bags and just letting the angels take them away. Okay, now I want you to think of the word rest. Think of how you feel when you hear that word, when you think of what that means, and see if it feels tight or if it feels expansive, if you feel warm or hot. Just notice how it makes you feel. And again, there's many different types of rest. Some are active, like exercise, some are still, like meditation, some are social, being with friends. Now we're just going to ask the angels to help create some more space when we think of rest, when we perhaps feel something in our bodies that constricts, or perhaps a belief that immediately is like, I don't really have time for that. A reminder that not everything can bloom all year round. Well, yes, there are some, like evergreens, but most things that, especially things that have fruit, have, big juicy tomatoes and sweet strawberries, they need dormancy, they need stillness. So now we're going to imagine our younger self, our inner child, if you will. And I want you to wrap them up in a blanket. And this blanket is rest. This blanket is the belief that you deserve rest. Rest feels good. We can find rest that feels good for us. A lot of folks do not jive with meditation, and do not force yourself. Some folks need to be active. Do not be hard on yourself. It's whatever feels right for you and your body and your mind. And so this blanket around your younger self, it's there to remind your younger you that, like, whenever they come up against, a societal belief, or even, a generational or familial belief, that they can understand it and they can comprehend it, and also be like, but I know deep within me that rest is still good and I deserve rest. And if this is hard to connect to, don't beat yourself up again. Uh, just, you can keep practicing this visualization. You can come back to this healing. We all have a lot of stuff around rest. And maybe you can even tell your younger self, like maybe your younger self can tell you what they like to do for rest, or maybe something that they would like you to add to your rest repertoire. Before we leave and just gently say goodbye to our younger self, just a reminder that rest is resistance and it is a bold action. So thank your younger child, tell them that they are a badass and a little punk in a good way. And they're just going to be stronger for having this little blanket around them. You can come back to your current present self, lovingly say goodbye, and see you later to your younger self. And if it feels good, you can put your hand on your heart space. And we're just going to first say that I allow myself to rest. I give myself permission to rest. I give my younger self permission to rest. My younger self gives me permission to rest. Energy with Ryan gives me permission to rest if you need an outside figure. And then tune into how that feels now that you hear that. You can keep repeating it to yourself. Oh, and a reminder again that society's never going to give you permission to rest. You have to take it for yourself. And it is a true act of defiance and a true act of self-care. And again, revolutionary. And so you can see it as this act of resistance, and you really have to fight for it until it becomes normal and it becomes second nature. So ask yourself, what do I need to hear to give myself permission to rest? What do I need to do to give myself permission to rest? And hear what comes from that. For me, I heard let go. For me, I heard you do not have to do everything and you doesn't have to be perfect. Going to help shift things that are heavy for folks. We're sending energy to our heart space, really filling our bodies up with pure angelic love and light, supporting our nervous system, releasing any shoulds from our shoulders right now. Giving our bodies what we needed to hear, what we needed to allow. You can focus on your breath. You can start moving around a little bit. We're going to really expand our energy. If the heart feels good. If it feels good, you can give yourself a big hug. Remind yourself that, you are here for you. You are showing up for you. You are doing this work. You have showed up. You are doing the hard thing. You are resting. Like, we really just do not give ourselves enough credit. And again, this takes time. This takes practice. We're going from A to B, not A to Z. Okay. We are going to integrate. Yes, we are going to integrate all of this goodness. Okay, now we're going to ground. So again, move your body, really feel how heavy your body feels. Feel the air touching your skin. Feel how deep the air goes in your belly and your diaphragm. We're going to do a quick polyvagal exercise before we ground because it feels like our body needs it. And so the polyvagal is this it's this theory where we to how should I say this? To calm ourselves down and to get out of fight or flight or freeze mode, we need to be in this like social engagement phase. And there's all these physical cues we can give our bodies to do so. And one of my favorite ones is through the eyes. And so if we're running from a tiger, our gaze is locked and loaded. We are staring at that thing. We lose our peripherals. So what we're going to do is you can take your finger and keep your head straight and then just gently move your finger to the right side as far as you can and just stare at it. Don't strain. Do it until you can maybe feel a sigh or a deep breath. And then gently come back to center. And we're going to do it with the other finger. This is something you can do anytime. I do this before bed. I do this if I'm stressed. It's a really good reminder for our bodies. And then come back to center. That we are safe. Even if we're staring at a screen for a long time, we lose our peripheral. So it's a good time to do it if you're watching, you're working, whatever. Okay, so again, let's get back to grounding. I want you to see a bright white light at the base of your spine. It's so bright, So warm, it overflows your pelvis, goes down your thighs, your knees, your legs, your ankles, your feet. You might feel a slight pulse at the base, the bottoms of your feet. And your feet open up and two thick roots go down, down, down to the center of the earth. And then your roots go out in all directions, right, left, center, multiple roots, keeping you sturdy, strong for miles and miles. And we're wrapping you up in a bubble of light. We are asking our angels or perhaps the earth, a spirit team member, to surround your circle, your bubble, to help you continue to gently and lovingly allow yourself to rest, to keep your energy strong, to keep your boundaries strong, to keep this blanket around you, that you deserve rest. You allow rest. Okay, let's take one more deep breath together. We're going to thank our spirit team, thank the earth for being here, for helping us heal and shift and grow together. Please continue to, help support us in a gentle and loving way. And I'm going to release our energy. I'm going to disconnect, send your energy back to you. Call my own energy back to me. How do you feel? That was really deep. I see lots of yawning. Hopefully we can take some rest after this. And again, rest looks like so many different things, and it doesn't have to be a 40-minute bubble bath. I personally don't even like baths. So when people are like, do a bath bomb, I'm like, not for me. Uh, is it going for a walk? Is it stretching? Is it cooking a lovely meal for yourself? Drinking a hot cup of tea? Being with loved ones? You get to decide what is rest, as long as it's truly rest. And while you're resting, you're not thinking of all the things you have to do. I find that is the opposite of rest. It's just as stressful. I'm going to pull a card from the Sacred Traveler Oracle deck. Ooh, rest feels like play to me. I like that. And it's also really a really great belief and perspective, because then you're like, there's so many different types of things I can try. What really works? You can get curious. I like that. I'm going to write that down and feel into that too. See, this is why it's so good to have community, so you can learn from each other. Oh, we got two cards. Okay, the first one is reaching your destination. Your light is shining brightly. And the other is impasse. Reflect and redirect your energy. Also, I have dirt under my fingernails because I've been in the garden. Where is, okay, an impasse. So perhaps, this can mean so many things, but in this terms of rest, perhaps we now see what was working for us is no longer working for us, and now we're closer to this like beautiful, restful situation. Let me just quickly read. It says impasse. Turning back isn't necessarily a failure. Sometimes it's the wisest thing you can do. If there's an area in your life where there's an impasse, the universe is telling you to use this as a time to reflect and redirect your energy in another way. Wisdom is knowing when to back down, turn around, and then let it go. There are times in life to break through barriers, and there are times to change direction. This is an area in your life regarding relationships, business, finance, health, or your life path that needs to be evaluated. Perhaps a new route is needed. Yes, it is. The secret traveler wants you to know if you reach an impasse in life, instead of protesting that it's unfair or unwarranted, change your course. Do it quickly and easily. Instead of focusing on what's not working, focus on what can work and what steps are needed to create a different outcome. This is a sign of a sage. The wise one views an obstacle, and if it's impassable, he immediately steps back and goes a different way. Therein dwells the sage's success. Whatever the obstacle in your life, you have learned what you needed to learn. Now back away and choose a different path. Yes. Take notes. Get curious. What can work instead of what isn't. And then for reaching your destination, I'm also getting this like image of like some folks really like Disney and they need to watch more Disney movies or shows. Okay, all your hard work and effort is paying off. Glory, triumph, and success are yours. If you've given your power away, now is the time to reclaim it. It's the time to stand in your own light. A destination is less of a place, but more of a new way of seeing the world. Your dreams are moving to fruition. If you have any incomplete projects or unresolved relationships, this is the time to complete them. This is an important part of reaching your destination. Take time to celebrate and acknowledge your success in life. Yes. And celebrate your resting, celebrate the 2-minute break you gave yourself. Those are such big things. The sacred traveler wants you to know the voyage was long and there were many adventures along the way. But as your trek reaches the destination, there's a feeling of joy and celebration. It's important to stop and rest. It's important to stop and rest and congratulate yourself for who you are and what you've done. The traveler forgives those who, on the voyage, were less than honorable. Release any feelings of resentment, fear, and sadness that you may have gathered along the road. You've reached your goal. Let everything else go. You're a majestic being who can bring light into the hearts of others. Celebrate and honor yourself. You are so worth it. It's important to stop and rest and congratulate yourself for who you are and for what you've done. So after this, I want you to congratulate yourself for doing this work, for seeing how far you've come, for, taking the break, doing the things. That's what these cards are saying. I am so proud of you. I hope you're proud of you. Remember to be gentle with yourself, to take extra care of yourself tonight after you watch this. And yeah, I wish you the most delicious rest that you can imagine. And I will see you on another Community Energy Thursday. Bye, friends.